Welcome to Wayzata High School for Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse. Tonight, the second meeting of the season between old rivals Minnetonka. The Skippers coming to Wayzata to take on the Trojans. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, fairly similar seasons for both of these teams. 3-4 coming in. Minnetonka got the first one. They have a good goaltender. They frustrated Wayzata. The Trojans thought they played right with Minnetonka, but end up losing it 16-6. So they feel like they have a shot to play with this team and maybe even beat them the second time around.
Well, this is the second time around. Sometimes it'll be the dream, and now you got them on your home turf here. So they have that's a good attitude to have after you got beat like that, to still feel you still can beat them. So that's going to help them mentally on that. They just basically got to put the ball in the net. That's what they didn't do the last time. They had the opportunities. This time they got to finish and close, and we could have a really good game.
Wayzata hoping to build off a little momentum. They had a nice win Monday night. Not a bad victory at all.
No. Beating Cretin-Durham Hall was a nice one, something to build on, and give them a little push here now toward the end. They've gotten Eden Prairie twice. They got that off the schedule. Don't have to worry about it. The schedule's a little favorable now with St. Louis Park coming up. This is a key game because it's going to talk about placement in the Lake Conference for them. And then, of course, sections per se. So this is a really important game for the Trojans.
Wayzata had a new head coach taking over last year with Krista Crandall, and for Minnetonka, Paige Gardner taking over this year. She likes the way her team's been working as well, and they feel like they're a team that's on the build. They had a couple of close losses that if they had just done a couple more things, could have flipped those around. But they're excited about their program right now.
They really are, and they're adapting to a new coaching system, a new style of play. So that's going to take a little bit of time. What I like about their team is they've spread the scoring out. They've got 10 different kids that are scoring goals in this team, which is unusual in lacrosse, which is good because they can come at you from any angle. Their goaltending is extremely strong, and when you got good goaltending, you can build on that and make a run. So she was real excited about it, and it was fun talking to her.
Let's talk about key players to look at in this evening's contest, starting with the visiting Skippers, a player who's committed to Arizona State. Julia Gallagly, or Lou as she goes by for their team, a pretty good all-around player. Really,
the coach really said some nice things about her. Not only can she put the ball in the net, I mean, obviously she's got some star power there, but she plays a whole game. She knows how to play in the defensive zone and in the midfield and in the attack zone. That's an invaluable piece to have because, she can stop a goal as well as get one for you. So she's been one of the leaders on the team this year, so will be fun watching her.
And for Wayzata, Haley Olson's having a nice season for the Trojans. They're a team that, hasn't scored maybe as much as they would like, but she's definitely been a big part of their offense.
Well, she is. She's a leading scorer for them. What I like about her, as many goals as assists. I like that. I mean, she's a team player. She moves it around a little bit. And, she's got to be the person tonight that steps up and gets the key goal when they need it, to gain some momentum back, to roll. I would look to her to be the person that would get that done. She's got some size to her. She's got some strength to her. She can force her way in front of that net and really make a difference. So we'll see how she reacts tonight.
Right now, the weather pretty good. There's a threat of some stuff moving in. Hopefully we get the girls and boys games in here this evening. But first up, it's the Skippers and the Trojans in girls lacrosse. And that comes your way next here on CCX.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Teams set to take the field here for the start of tonight's contest. As we said, second meeting of the season between the Trojans and the Skippers. And interestingly enough, both head coaches played for Minnetonka in high school, and now each of them getting into the coaching ranks.
They seem to be enjoying it and enjoying their teams this year. Really enthusiastic.
There's a look at Paige Gardner, first year, as she just finished up at St. Thomas, and Maddie Mingo with an assistant too. They've got a St. Thomas staff coming in, and has been pleased with what she's seen from the kids. She said they've all worked hard and been good kids to coach so far, and that's definitely made the transition into being a head coach easier. And Krista Crandall, second year as head coach of the Trojans, fourth year in the program. And after completing her time at Minnetonka, played at the University of Minnesota.
I really like to see the fact that we have some young ladies coaching the young ladies now, coming back and giving back to the programs, and it'll only make lacrosse stronger here, girls lacrosse.
As we said, Wayzata coming off the win 15-10 over in St. Paul against Cretin-Derham Hall Monday night, so they'll try and use that momentum. Let the Skippers win the face-off. Minnie Battelle, who along with Gallagly, kind of the top offensive threats for the Skippers, and they quickly go to the attack here. Josie Helling stepping to the front, and she'll put it away. An early goal here for Tonka as they control the opening faceoff, and they will get one very early on and take the first early lead here on this goal by Josie Helling.
Just a strong move to the net and just gets over and above without any encroachment on the defenders, and puts it in the left-hand corner. Good shot. Real strong move here, sophomore. It's one thing we're going to see a lot of tonight in this game. We're going to see a lot of sophomores. We're going to see some ninth graders that are playing very well.
Helling getting her third goal of the season, just 17 seconds in. And again, the Skippers will control the draw as Lily Hoeg gets the control and puts it out front. Here's a quick pass, and Gallagly trying to set up Hannah Baskin. Looked like Gallagly might have had a shot of her own there too, but thought she saw a teammate with an even better opportunity.
I like the refs too. They call that a pass, and it was really a pass. Sometimes when they get behind like that, they can look like a shot, and but rightfully so, Wayzata got the ball.
CC Hardigan coming up the sideline, but a halo violation there against Tonka, so we'll stay with Wayzata possession here.
She did a nice thing there. She switched hands early and keeps it to the outside now, and now she's coming back to her natural hand. But important for some possession here for Wayzata. Just settle down and see what you can pull out of the hat here.
Drops it back for Kimball Utsi.
You know, one of the things, Jay, about the Trojans, they've been very weak on draws this year. They have lost more than they've won. And anytime they get a turnover and a possession like this, they should take advantage of it.
Haley Olsen sending it around, and they work it behind now. Nice pass flipped out front, a chance in close, but Ashton Utsi puts it over the top. And we talked a little bit about, didn't really mention her by name. There's Chloe Lewis, one of the captains. She's a left-hander, which is a little hard for the Trojans to get used to too, but she's very good. She's going to Denver. And boy, they really raved about her. Actually, both teams, you know, just a really strong goaltender and can really make or break some season or some games when you have a goalie that's going to make a lot of stops for you like that.
Well, she's got a 63% save percentage, which is very good in lacrosse. Anything over 500 is good, and you get in the 60s or 60 percentile, that's an exceptional goalie.
Skippers possessing here. Battelle over to Helling. Helling had the first goal of the game. Now takes a return pass as they've looked pretty sharp in the early going here. They had the one missed pass near the net that maybe could have been a goal, but and there, just as I say that, there's another one at solid D2 by Wayzata as Hardigan picks it up, and Hardigan leads the charge back the other way.
Well, good clear there by Hardigan. Did a nice job just racing out. Now the rest of the Trojans got to get set up and start moving, get their cutters in place, see if they can get another good opportunity.
And Logan putting it down low, and it is tucked in by Ashton Utsi just as she is falling. And a great setup there for the Trojans. And they tie it up at 1-1.
Notice, too, that she went to the left side here. The goalie came down, got that. She got her to get her basket up, and then brought it back down, kind of a sidearm fashion, and got it in the net.
So nice goal there for Wayzata to even things up on really their first Great possession, and that'll be her 12th goal of the season.
And again, a sophomore. You're talking to the coaches, and especially the Wayzata coach, this is the team she's going to be with for the next 2 to 3 years. And she's really interested in the development, seeing how they can get better here.
Yeah, it's a little surprising to hear that, you know, numbers are quite low in both programs, it sounds like. So nice pass ahead. Here come the Skippers on the attack, and they did not take long to answer. Gallagly buries it for Minnetonka, and they go right back in front. See the nice catch of that one, just calmly flipping it past Caroline Ronning. And so Gallagly able to finish there.
Boy, the Skippers are coming out here, and they're aggressive. They aren't wasting any time on offense. They're moving the ball and getting right to the net to create a shot as quickly as they possibly can. They've got some phenomenal players. The first three, Gallagly, Biddle, and Cole, are just by far and away their top scorers, all in double-digit goals and in points.
So Gallagly will get her 19th goal of the season, and the Skippers go back in front. Only about 16 seconds after that Wayzata goal. Now this time the Trojans do control the draw. Clea Hatza-Georgia.
Good job, Jay. You got that one out right the first time.
Well, I hope I was right. Laugen spinning. It's an intimidating name to look at. A lot of letters, but Hatza-Georgia is what they told me. So drop back here to Laugen. Now Kimball Yutzi. Oops, lost it there in traffic. And it will be Wayzata's possession.
Yeah, she swept it with her stick. You can only scoop. You can't sweep it into the stick like you can in the boys' game. So that'll be a possession back to the Trojans there.
Ava Goodnature getting us restarted. Now to Laugen. Oops, got away from her. Here's Alyssa Story, and back to Ava Goodnature here for Wayzata. Now Kimball Yutzi. Trying to get a little screen there. Minnetonka jumping all over that, though, not letting it happen. Elise Johnson weaving her way back across, and now here comes Laugen. Just a lot of solid D, though. Not a lot of openings. They're probably going a little more one-on-one than what they'd like to see so far, but in part because Minnetonka's defended well.
Oh, that double and triple team come right away, closes off any avenue, and good sidestepping by the Skippers.
Olsen wanted to go toward the net, but was turned back. Kimball Yutzi picks it up. The good news for Wayzata, though, is they've got a nice long possession here and make Minnetonka work on D. Elise Johnson now spinning back. Olsen.
I think we got a push. Okay.
So Olsen from the free position here. And the defender got there, and then that shot was mostly smothered, and Lewis then able to corral it here for the Skippers. Pass fielded on a bounce there by Kelly Cole. Cole running straight up the middle and then dishes off. Nice pass left side, and here's the shot. That one denied, and Ronning coming up with a big save. They said she's played pretty well this year. It felt like maybe last year she put a little pressure on herself and wasn't relaxing, but Ronning with a big save right there.
Well, she's running right at about 50% save percentage, and that was a confidence builder. She, having two go by her that quick, get a quick one like that off a good hard shot. We'll see how she builds off that.
Elizabeth McDermott losing possession here. Now they joust for it. And controlled coming out of there, Coco Crandall. Gets it over to Johnson now. Johnson has it knocked away. See Johnson pretty right-hand dominant and hesitant to try and go left at all.
Yeah, and that'll kill you. You got to learn how to switch your hands. The Trojans aren't moving around really well either. They're not getting open for the clear there, and it's allowing Hopkins. They establish position really well, Jay, and impede progress. And if you can't throw the ball to an open player on your team, you're going to get trapped sooner or later. You can see how many times they get turned away and have to change direction. I bet you that's what the conversation is on the sideline right now at Wayzata.
Timeout taken here as Minnetonka leading at 2-1.
I'm wondering now if Wayzata will get a change and start moving, get the ball to behind the net in the attack zone and see if they can work cutters coming down to make passes into the slot and get some opportunities there. They're not having a lot of luck coming off the top and doing a lot of dodging, as you pointed out. So we'll see what happens here.
It's youth night tonight as well, and enjoying a great concession stand meal there, it looks like. Actually, as of right now, turned into a pretty good evening here. We're still, not just kind of crossing our fingers that we'll get through this one and the boys' game with the weather holding out, but actually I think better than what everybody was expecting, at least for the first half so far of this game.
Yeah, it's actually pleasant out. We've had some nice hot summer weather. This is more of a springy type, early spring weather. Low 60s, high 50s. Got a jacket on. I'm kind of liking it.
See some more of the young ladies here to take this one in, and that's what it's going to take to build. As we said, numbers have been pretty low in the Trojans program, especially, which obviously you don't think of that happening too often in school of this size. But the coaches were saying that we've really got a group here that wants to be here, wants to work hard, and so we've got enough to work with, and just doing our best to get better, and that's the thing. They're playing against some of the great competition too. I mean, it's you're playing teams like Eden Prairie. It's going to be hard to look good on a few of those nights, but certainly they've got an opportunity against most of the remaining teams on their schedule for sure.
They got St. Louis Park next. May 10th here, and Hopkins, Edina, and Breck. And they had a close game against Edina, got beat by 1 goal, and that could be another chance for them to kind of overcome some hurdles. It's one thing you get to beat the first time. If you can build on beating them the second time, it builds confidence in your program here.
Minnetonka actually lost a 1-goal game to Edina as well. That was one of those that they were saying, we probably felt like should have won that one, but didn't.
It's a learning process, especially with a young team, learning how to close out a game correctly. But so far, I've been really impressed with the Skippers' quickness. I mean, they are fast and they are quick.
Boy, and it seems like every time they've gotten possession, it's almost immediately led to at least a good chance, if not a goal.
They move the ball really well, and they really get in the middle of that slot where they get the ball in there and give themselves a good shot right in front of the goal. And they're going to have Wayzata's going to have to alter their defense a little bit, come out a little bit farther and stop them earlier to let them get in a little too close.
Kimball Utsi controlling here now for the Trojans. Olsen well defended, leaves it over for Laugen. Laugen going to the front, and she scores. Got just enough of a screen to get an opening to shoot that one, and Laugen burying it for the Trojans to even us up at 2-2.
She had a nice burst of speed coming around on that cut, and then she went into the right-hand side away from the basket of the Skipper's goalie there, Chloe Lewis, and beat her clean. High-low shot coming in and tie game.
So Laugen will get her 5th of the year as Wayzata, long possession, patient, and then finally completing it with a goal. And the other thing that does too, I think it just takes any momentum away from your opponent a little bit when you're able to just possess the ball for a while there. I mean, they can't get anything going, obviously, when you've got it.
Well, it's pretty obvious, too. Minnetonka's not interested in playing what we call a half-court game here, too. They want a fast break. Just slow them down and don't let them have the ball.
Laugen on the move here for Wayzata. Nice pass to Olsen. Elise Johnson will scoop it up. Minnetonka not really playing real tight pressure. They're content to really play solid positional defense and make their Trojans kind of run the gauntlet through if they want to get close to the net.
Yeah, the last time Wayzata really spread it out. Now, this is what I like to see right here. Get it behind and see what you can do as far as cutters coming through. There we go.
Dish down low. Olsen couldn't get a shot away there. Now the race is on. Scooped up here by Tonka's Cole. Quickly upfield, and Hannah Baskin was impeded.
Got a holding call there. Yeah, the other thing skippers do really well too. They really, once they get the ball, everybody on the field is reacting. The people in the attack zone are coming back and coming to the ball. And once they get rolling forward, all 3 of them or 4 of them are moving forward.
They will set it back out top here. Battelle over to Lily Hoeg, and swinging around right side now to Cole. And around the horn they go, give everybody a touch. Baskin going to the front. Pretty solid D there by Olivia Buen for Wayzata. Couple of pass fakes, and then a nice save by Ronning as she denies Battelle there.
Wayzata sliding too better. They're coming in and they're getting a double team in play rather than, you know, having a one-on-one D play. Oh, nice move.
Nice pick there, and that frees up Kelly Cole to bury it for Minnetonka. Boy, the defender really got fully picked off there, and it just right there. There you saw the nice screen set, and that was Gallagly who set the pick there for Minnetonka. So as you talked about, coaches said she does a little bit of everything, and that right there, just setting a good solid screen like that, freed up Cole to bury it for the Skippers, so they go back in front. Cole getting her 17th goal of this season.
Just a nice burst of speed too to really bring that defender. He had to move quick and couldn't think about what was around her, ran right into that pick. Nice play.
Off the draw, Minnetonka will end up with possession here. Lily Hoeg didn't quite get the pass completion there, and Buen will pick it up for Wayzata. Her pass partially blocked, but Olsen gets it.
The Trojans are moving the ball much better now, not relying just on the run to get the clear. They're moving the ball really well.
Olsen. Turned back by Gallagly, but work it down low. Oh, nice read.
Oh,
Lewis just jumped out and snared that pass like it was easy as could be.
And I could tell that one was coming. Nice play by her.
Anna Brooks moving it upfield now for Tonka. Right on target to Cole. Boy, their clearing passes have been just superb for Minnetonka. Watch Lewis here read this one. Sees it coming and jumps out and takes it.
Well, she just anticipated. She didn't telegraph that very much either. Oh.
Out front here, but Ronning with a great save there for Wayzata. She's had a couple of big ones. That's probably the best up to this point.
She got that basket rolling right with the stick of a Tonka player. Did a nice job. Battelle was in on her.
Laugen surveying the field here as she comes up, able to connect on that. Nice pass. Alyssa Story with a little room.
Boy, she had some field. I mean, she should have just picked it up and made a forced play there.
Lewis again trying to deny that pass back. Didn't get it cleanly this time, but did knock it away and force the turnover. So Wayzata's going to have to be wary of that they've got to spread out a little bit farther. Not going to have a clean lane to drop that pass back because they've got an aggressive and talented goalie. Watch this play here by Ronning.
Adele gets inside, and she just follows that stick right along with it and gets it in front. Real nice job with the basket. Oh, there it is.
Baskin getting it ahead. Battelle working in.
I think that was a halo violation there. So a free position there for Battelle.
Minnie Battelle with a great opportunity here. And Ronning gets her again. Battelle, though, picks it up, and then the shot will bounce wide. Wow, Ronning stopping Battelle a couple times in a row here. Boy, that one looked like it was going to be a goal for sure. Another look, the fake, and then she actually got it with her left leg. Yeah. And then Battelle tried to, catch her quick by shoveling that one in, but just didn't put it on target. So, wow, Ronning, we knew coming into the game how good Lewis' reputation is, and Ronning is matching her in the early going here, though.
Well, they've needed her, too, with the way the Skippers are getting in tight on her, but it's almost like it's instinctual. The basket moves, the legs move. She's doing a good job of bearing down on the ball.
Laugen to Ashton Utsi here for Wayzata. They work it up the right side. Story's pass denied. And a nice defensive play coming out of the pack with it. Lily Hoeg for the Skippers. Over to Sunny Schaefer. Schaefer cut off, so she looks over to Cole. Cole spins back out. Now Gallagly. Baskin will give it to Hamburg. A little bit of a different philosophy, it looks like, attack-wise for these teams. Minnetonka really spreading things out. And here's a shot on Ronning with another big save. Skippers do get it back as she turned Kelly Cole away there. Now Schaefer. Back for Hoeg. And that pass intercepted nicely by Alyssa Story. And then they try and get the clear. Pass knocked away. Battle forward won by Tonka. Josie Helling. Helling's pass bounces away. Gallagly, though, picks it up. Gallagly walking to the front, and Ronning with another stop. Skipper still dangerous, though. Gallagly working hard. Now Helling looking for a cutter. Baskin wanting to work her way out front, but pretty well defended. Story is there. Baskin cut off. Now a cutter coming down the middle, and before she could shoot, it'll be called against Wayzata. Another look at this one, and this is Gallagly, maybe their best player, one of their best, and she's got her right foot on that one. And then that shot attempt goes just wide. Minnetonka putting pressure on, but unable to score, largely because of Ronning, but also a couple of shots have missed the net. Nice pickup by Hardigan. Hardigan forced to the sideline here. Keeps possession. Ooh, and a near steal there. And now the Skippers do get it, force that turnover. Here's Hamburg coming in. And then she lost it. Looked like a 2-on-1 there, but couldn't get the ball clear. And then another interception. Anna Brooks takes this one for Tonka. Brooks going to the front. And she'll put it away. Minnetonka relentless here. They were maybe a little frustrated by how many times they've been stopped, but that time Brooks goes to the net and is able to finish it, and it's 4-2.
She did a nice job. She normally plays defense here, and she got an opportunity and to get that taken care of, and she used the 2-on-1 pretty well there, and used as a fake and just kept coming and beat it in deep here.
And be her first goal of the year, looks like, for the Skippers. So they lead at 4-2. They've been impressive in how they've attacked. They just haven't, put as many away as what they would have liked. But credit Ronning for a lot of that.
I was beginning to, we were talking to the Wayzata coach how frustrated they were in the first game shooting on, Chloe Lewis. Well, I was starting to think, well, maybe they're not going to get in Minnetonka's head because, Ronning was just stepping up big time here.
Trojans on the move. Pass comes out front there, and Olsen was running out of room to do much with it. We had a slash call there against Minnetonka. And here we go off the restart. Good nature. Olsen trying to overpower the defender here. Olsen fires up high and scores. Well, you talked about in the pregame, Dan, how she has some strength, and that time used it there to just kind of bounce off the defender a little bit and then beats Lewis up high.
That's not a pick and roll. That's a rub and roll, and she just used her hip to get the defender off her a little bit, create some space, come through before anybody else could get to her, and let it go. And again, beat to the left side, right to that basket side, but went high and buried it.
She'll get her 12th goal of the year and a much-needed one for Wayzata. They pull right back to within a goal now at 4-3.
Well, and you like to see your top player, by points, so to speak, pick it up, and that was a crucial goal. Like I said, a lot of times, I don't know how many you score, it's when you score them, and they needed this because the Skippers had put a couple in a row together.
Trojans able to control this draw. That's a Giorgio, and then call going against Minnetonka right there. So important win there for Clea and the Trojans. Now Minnetonka will come away with it though. Kelly McCloskey knocked away. It'll stay with Minnetonka, but still solid D there for Wayzata.
That's one of the few times the flow of the clear has been disrupted by a good ride, a good stick placement, anticipation where the ball was going, and stopped the drive.
Cole whipping it ahead, and and denied from behind as Elise Johnson catches up to Battelle. Battelle had been stopped a couple of times by Ronning, and this time she's really lining it up, and there you see, just caught from behind. Looked like a clean breakaway.
That's a tricky defensive play too with that stick, because we know about the halo rule, and you got to be almost side by side. You can't attack from behind, but really well played.
Johnson may be saving a goal there, although Ronning was probably saying, no, I had it anyway. I've stopped her a few other times. No, you don't want to do that too many. Ooh, a nice interception there by McCloskey, and they come right back to offense. Cole attacking the net here for Tonka, and she scores.
5-hole.
Boy, a nice goal after a nice interception. McCloskey did a great job to pick that pass off, and then Cole finishes.
Boy, that was a nice shot here too. She gets that thing, wound up knew exactly where she wanted to go with it, and she put it down low before the legs of the basket get that way. I guess maybe you just go for the 5-hole on Ronning. Either side, she tends to get a foot on it, for heaven's sake. So, but back to a 2-goal lead for the Skippers. Wayzata's been doing better in the draws. The first 4, they lost straight away, no problem. And then they've been battling pretty good, about 500 right now in the draws, and get the possession back. And this is the area that the Skippers have really dominated the ground balls. They have come up with at least 70% of them.
Gallagher weaving away. They do seem to have more overall team speed too, and I think it's led to, quicker transition opportunities. Gallagher attacking up the left side, flipping it out front, trying to find Cole, but it was a little bit off target. See a good battle for it, and Cole scooping that ground ball up nicely.
What do you have?
Tonka getting it reset here. They're up by 2 goals, but it's been a good back and forth battle in this first half.
I don't see anybody pulling away, but I think a stop here right now for the Trojans is pretty important. There we go.
And they'll get it as a turnover, and it winds up in Ronning's basket there. She has had some really nice saves in this first half to keep her team right on Tonka's heels here at 5-3. In trouble locating anybody getting open. Minnetonka's really denying any pass.
No one's getting any separation.
Well, I guess you say wisely not throwing it away, but a whole lot of nothing happening for Wayzata right now. Ronning pressured a little bit. And now throwing it into the middle. Buan will come up with it. And she was knocked down hard. And we are going to see a yellow card issued.
Oh, and we're going to get a penalty here. Yep.
As a little too aggressive, Marissa Swanson.
They frown on contact in girls lacrosse here. So that's the only time, folks, where you'll see a actual sit-down penalty in the penalty box penalty in girls lacrosse, and that was when those yellow cards come out.
Flip down low, and an opportunity and a goal as Ashton Utsi buries it. It didn't take long for the Trojans to capitalize there, as she'll get her second of the night, 13th of the year. And Wayzata, as you see the nice pass from Buan there for Utsi to finish it.
Well, Skipper's really late getting back on D. She was all by herself in front, and took advantage of it. And I like the fact too, they're not afraid to go toward that left-handed side of the goalie there, and that's her second of the night. We would see. Way to capitalize on it. Still got a minute and 21 or a minute and 54 on the penalty. It's be a good opportunity for the Trojans here.
Patel forcing the turnover, and now it is Cole coming back up that sideline for Tonka. Double team comes. Cole eating up as much time as she can, gets the pass away. And I think that one went off the goalpost. It's loose in front. And we have the whistle. I don't believe it's a goal. The call coming.
It wouldn't have come from the outside goalie there.
Right.
On the goalie on the line. Is there a reach into the crease? Yeah, okay. Wayzata now, they got to take advantage of this and really rock, because especially when Minnetonka gets the ball, get 2 people on him. I mean, they have a man up right now, and they need to take advantage of it.
Logan to the front and comes to a skidding stop as she was pushed.
Yeah, we talked about Skipper's team speed here. Sometimes this speed is going against him lately with these past 2 plays here. But here's a golden opportunity for the Trojans right here.
Logan from the free position and puts it up high and in, and we are tied up as Logan will get her second of the night.
Nice play here. She just came in paired, took a little leap, got it up high, and put it in the upper left-hand corner. Oh, actually dead center.
Seemed like she surprised Lewis a little bit there, because there were sticks that were just getting to her, and it looked like she might not really get that shot, fully off cleanly, but did, and put it just under the top of the net.
I'm wondering too if the last game, I wonder if Wayzata was doing a lot of bounce shots on the ground, because Chloe Lewis seems to be surprised they're going up high. I mean, she's getting beat consistently up there, and here we go with man up. They've scored 2 goals here, and there's still 38 seconds left on the penalty here.
Skippers winning this draw. Battelle carrying it forward as we go down to about a minute and a half to play in the first half, and now tied up at 5 apiece after a couple goals by Wayzata.
Boy, Battelle has really showed me something in this game, Jay. She's taken draws. She's played good defense. She's scored, been aggressive in the attack zone. Really nice all-around player for the Skippers. Junior, so they got something to build on with her next year.
Turnover allows Wayzata an opportunity to try and take the lead here as Laugen up the left side.
Oh my gosh, there's somebody open. Oh, they had Trojan down low, was wide open.
Well, and the cutter didn't seem to really be presenting a good target though either, and looking for, oh, that was a pass, but it nearly snuck in as Lewis was watching the pass, and it bounced behind and nearly got past her. As you see, the penalty time now over to Tonka, and they try and take the lead back here. Gallagly flipping it in front, and that shot missed wide by Cole. It will be Minnetonka possession. Another look at that. So when you see the pass misfires, and Lewis, whoa, just reacting in time as she was really playing the angle of where that pass was coming.
She's going to come out and attack and got caught.
Battelle flicks the pass over. Gallagly has to battle for it. And it'll be Wayzata ball.
There's one of those stick checks coming down. You got to let the player pick it up before you can attack it, and it's still on the ground. And a little different rules in girls lacrosse.
Pass to the outside here. We're down to about 10 seconds to go in the half. If you're Wayzata right now, you just want to be careful not to turn things over late in the half and give Tonka an opportunity. And so we come to halftime in this one, and the teams with identical records coming in, and the first half has been very even as Minnetonka built a couple leads, and Wayzata keeps on answering. And our score at halftime is Minnetonka 5, Wayzata 5. We'll have our first half highlights and then half number 2 and a good girls lacrosse matchup here on CCX Sports.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed.
I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it.
I just want my family to be safe.
But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Welcome back here to Wayzata High School along with Dan Fick and MJ Wilcox. Minnetonka and Wayzata tied up 5-5 at halftime here of our girls game. As we check out some first half highlights from this one, the Skippers getting off to a good start. Helling scoring just 17 seconds in for Minnetonka, but Wayzata didn't waste a whole lot of time getting it back as Utsi scoring on the nice feed there from Laugen. Tie it up, but Skippers come back. Gallagly finishing nicely there. That one was 16 seconds after the previous one, so 2-1 Minnetonka. Then Wayzata, though, keeps on answering as Laugen goes to the net and scores her first of the night and fifth of the season. Skippers get a couple in a row. Cole getting a nice screen there from Gallagly and turning the corner and scoring. And then it is Brooks attacking here, switching nicely to the left and scores, and she was excited about that, her first of the year. At that point, it felt like Minnetonka was starting to take over a little bit, but it didn't stay that way as Olsen battling tough defense past the defender and putting one up high over the top on Lewis. Cole coming back to answer. She snuck one through after running and made several really good saves, but then Wayzata gets the last two after they're down 5-3. Nice play there, and Ashton Utsi finishing it. And then Laugen from the free position, just getting that one away in time. And that one came with about 1:45 to go before the half, and that tied us up at 5-5, and that is where we sit We will come back with what should be an interesting second half here in just a moment. Minnetonka 5, Wayzata 5 here on CCX Sports.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back as we get set to face off here to begin half number 2 as Minnetonka beat Wayzata by 10 the first time around, and Trojans maybe showing they've made some improvements. And I think what you said late in the half might have been a key thing too, is that they've been able to solve Lewis a little bit more this time around, and maybe learn some things from the first time that they've been going high with a lot of shots, and certainly have had some better success. The last time it sounded like it was kind of a combination of they missed the net and also Lewis stifled them some, and this time they've been able to find some good opportunities and convert. So even up at 5 as we begin this second half.
Yeah, and so far right now, I think Ronning's been the big story of the game so far. She's made some real key saves when the Skippers got in tight on her and kept them in the game and allowed them to get back to tie it. So anybody's ball game right now.
Gallagher has that one go behind her. She's able to scoop it up. Back out to Helling, who started the scoring here tonight. Helling cut off as she went to the middle. Battelle, who's been denied a couple of times by Ronning. Not this time, though. Minnie Battelle finishes it off. And that's what you got to do. You just keep going and attacking and figure eventually they're going to go in. And that's what happened right there, as Minnie able to finish nicely.
Just that quickness broke that double team coming at her. She split it with her stick still up and got a nice down, high, low shot on Ronning. Kind of starting out the way they started the game. Got one quick out of the gates.
18th goal of the year for Battelle. So Skippers back in front at 6-5. They've never trailed in this one. They've always been the team that's pushed ahead, and then the Trojans have battled back. And see if it continues along that line in the second half, or how things will shape up.
That was the first time we've seen a total dodge situation by the Skippers. Usually they pass themselves into a situation to score.
And a nice interception there on the run by Swanson, who took what turned out to be a rather costly penalty in that first half for Minnetonka. But here she comes working her way up the field. Swanson shooting, Ronning with the block there. And then a call going against Minnetonka. Swanson maybe a little bit impatient that time. One of the few times where it feels like Minnetonka took a shot that they shouldn't have. Most of the time tonight, I think they've been pretty spot on when to actually shoot and when not to.
For as aggressive as they have been, yeah, I would agree. I think they've made some wise decisions. That was probably the first bad one. I think somebody wanted to make up for a situation that allowed her team to get tied up.
Helling working her way across the field now for the Skippers. Baskin flipping it out front, and a shot and a goal. Wow, Gallagher, it looked like that one was well defended, but she caught that one in traffic, and then bang, before you knew it, it was in the net.
The Skippers have a nice way of putting the balls where their players can get them, and they've been able to catch them high and catch them low. She caught that one low and brought it up just enough to get it into the net as she came through. That was a nice move on her part, being able to catch it and then get it in for a shot.
Second of the night, 20th of the season, and in a lot of ways, like we were saying, the catch might have been more impressive than the shot, because at that point it was just finishing it off, but she had to get herself in position to receive that pass first and did so. So 7-5 Tonka lead.
And we got a push there. So Wayzata's got to be careful here now. They've got to make the opportunity do here. They're down 2 goals real quick here.
That's a Giorgio controlling it here for Wayzata. Over to Story. Lost that one on the way in, and then
lifted the stick.
Yeah, Gallagly thought she had done that cleanly, but official did not agree. So Story too high with that pass, and kind of an unforced turnover there, certainly for Wayzata. And at least so far, Minnetonka's come out a little bit sharper to start this second half than Wayzata has.
Well, again, the Wayzata's going back to their early first half habits of nobody's moving, and they got to get open here and make some moves, especially with that free position. Both wingers on the side should have been out, coming out of that net area and getting open for a pass.
Brindulak getting it ahead, and here's Hamburg to the front. Recovered then by Baskin. No goal. And I believe they said illegal screen on Minnetonka there, so wipe that one out. No goal.
Similar to a moving pick.
So the Trojans dodge a bullet there. Then a pass that gets away, and Gallagly, boy, she is very smooth and fluid on those ground balls.
I mean, the way she changes hands with her stick is just smooth. She can go either left or right. You can see her just changed to right there, and you wouldn't have even noticed it if you hadn't been looking for it.
Baskin as they'll bring it around. Hamburg giving it now to Helling. Gallagly starting to attack. Vitale trying to go back to Gallagly, but it was a little off target, and Story was there in good position to intercept it for Wayzata.
Yeah, kind of throwing it to a spot where she thought somebody would be, and somebody wasn't really there. Uh-oh.
Turnover here, though, and here comes Swanson, and missed the net, but we had a whistle anyway.
And she'll get a free position.
The stick got up around the eyewear there.
Halo violation. That's an interesting violation. Halo violation.
And Swanson not able to hit the net with that one. It'll stay Minnetonka possession here. A little over 5 minutes into the second half, and Minnetonka scored the first 2 goals of the half. They lead 7-5 after we were tied at halftime. Oh. Gallagly with a great spin move, and she scores it. Her second in a row. She's been very unselfish tonight and is an excellent passer, but that time saw an opportunity to say, you know what, I think I can probably take this defender one-on-one.
Then you saw that hand switch again, which allowed the defender not to get at her stick one way, and she came back through. And just nice placement. Knows she's looking at where she's shooting at and puts it in the right place.
And so we're going to see a timeout taken as Minnetonka has come out strong to begin this half 2 and leading it by a score of 8-5. And Lou Gallagly, a good reason why right there, showing her skill early in the second half for the Skippers.
Any information on her possibly going to college?
Arizona State, yeah.
She is Arizona State, that's right. Okay. Boy, Arizona State all of a sudden is blossoming as far as Division I sports. They got hockey now and lacrosse, and gee, that's kind of a rough campus to go to.
Yeah, I have to believe you have, one good starting selling point with the weather there, certainly, to start it out.
It's funny talking to the kids that do go out east to play Eastern lacrosse, and from both the girls and the boys programs, or men's and women's programs at that level. But, a lot of them have to, shovel off the field or, get snow off a particular area where they got to practice. And I've noted a lot of games broadcast in March and stuff where there's just big snowbanks all around the field. So you have to deal with it. To get an opportunity to go to Arizona State, you don't have to deal with that. You're going to get your games in unless you're flying out east. But she's definitely got the talent to play Division I lacrosse. Her speed is good. Her hands are excellent. She's an unselfish player, and she sees the field really well, and has the ability to pretty much handle any ball that comes to her.
Trojans boys team getting set to battle Tonka in the nightcap, and we'll have that one for you on CCX as well, of course. And they are having a very strong season so far and looking to continue it here this evening.
I would say they are very strong. I would say they'd be a leader in contending for a state title this year. They've been to state. They just haven't been able to get over the hump and win a title. But this could be their year. They are that good. They have that much strength on that team. And we're going to see a lot of Division I athletes come out of that team. They're going to be fun to watch.
Krista Crandall trying to get her team settled down. You see a big smile on her face. That's a young player right there, and that's the future that they want to build for as a youth night here. And we saw some of them in the stands having fun, and then some of them part of the sideline crew too. I think they kind of gave them the option because they were all down there beforehand, and that young lady was really wanting to watch right up close. So good to see. Trojans right now try to get the momentum back, but Minnetonka has continued to win faceoffs here. But then Hoeg had it knocked away. McCloskey back to scoop it though. Ooh, and then she was knocked down. So McCloskey restarting it here for Minnetonka as they have netted 3 early in the second half to take an 8-5 lead. Ooh, and a hard fall to the turf there. And you see,
I'm surprised the yellow card didn't come out on that one.
Well, yeah, I think they just got the feet tangled.
Yeah,
it looked worse
true.
maybe than no intent really. It just the heels clicked and was a hard fall certainly for Bryn Dulac, but no intention there I don't think. And now a turnover, and here come the Trojans. Scooped up by Kimball Utsi. Gets around a defender, but then some nice help coming over there by McCloskey. Out front, and a chance missed from in real tight there by Ashton Utsi, who's had a couple tonight. Looked like she might have been hobbling a little bit after she took that shot.
I think she got a stick on the shin there.
So Wayzata possession here, an important possession for them to get a good look at the net and, for their sake, hoping to score. Because they've started slow in the second half, and I don't think they really can afford to fall behind anymore. Logan. Dropping the pass back. Johnson. Now it's Logan switching to the left, and
got a stick up high. Should be free position, yeah. And she'll go to the 8-meter line.
Here's Logan to the net, and she scores. Logan netting her 3rd of the evening, and as we said, I thought a pretty important possession for Wayzata to be able to try and come back. And they get it there as Logan buries it.
Yeah, we had a high-low situation there. Instead of going high, she went low, and Lewis just couldn't stop it on that. But coming in that, tight, it's awful tough.
At that point, if you're a goalkeeper, you can't really expect a save. You hope to make one, but.
Well, we've seen a lot of situations where the skippers have gotten in there and have blocked off a good shot opportunity, but Logan got quick enough that time to get a good one off. But you're right, Jay. This is a key goal. They needed one right there.
So 8-6 Minnetonka after Logan gets her 3rd of the evening. But the skippers win the draw, and here comes Battelle. Skippers trying to answer right back.
Well, both teams this year are averaging about 8 goals a game. Now, in the last game, obviously, the Skippers doubled that. I don't think that's going to happen tonight with the way Carolyn Ronning's been playing in goal. And Wayzata's already tied the amount of goals they scored the first time. So they got to put them with a little bit of confidence.
Buan gets it away to Laugen. And then a nice read, though. Swanson with the steal for the Skippers. Now Baskin. Pretty well defended there, nice. So she steps it back out.
Good defensive play there. Just slowed him right down. Stopped that little fast break tendency that they so love to play on the Minnetonka side.
Man, the Skippers, I don't know what that one was all about, but they almost lost it. Gallagly, though, comes to pick it up. Gallagly flipping it out front. We had a halo violation, though, against Wayzata on the way in anyway, so going to be a good chance here for Gallagly and the Skippers.
They got to get out on her quick.
Gallagly will shoot it. Bud Ronning with the stop. Boy, she has really come up big here tonight.
Nice shot there, and boy, the basket came down quick and just knocked it down. Nice play by Ronning. You know, so far, Jay, I think she's been the difference in the game. She's kept, with all the opportunities the Skippers have had, she's done a good job of keeping her team in the game.
Yeah, I would agree, definitely. She is, I think it's safe to say, has outplayed Lewis tonight even, who's got a big reputation and certainly and has a good one, but Ronning's made some really big saves. Skippers will just keep on coming back, though, as Battelle on the move here. Battelle firing and missed the net. It will be Minnetonka possession, though.
The other thing, like, too, the Skippers, that was a nice shot. I mean, that wasn't just a lob. It was a...
And there's Battelle burying one right there.
And coming back and taking advantage of the Wayzata turnover there. Restoring the 3-goal lead.
Battelle getting her second of the game after she'd been frustrated by some big saves by Ronning earlier in the contest. So a 9-6 lead. You get another look right here as she made the big fake and just carrying it across the goal mouth and going low with the shot. Tough one to save at that point for Ronning.
She came out from the net a little bit too, not letting Ronning to really get that basket and play on hers. And I gave her a little more room and a better angle to put the ball away. Did a nice job that time.
So again, the Trojans will have to battle back from a 3-goal deficit.
Referee didn't like the draw, kind of went out horizontally. They want to see a little more of an arc.
Nice win by Danuzzi here for Wayzata, but then lost possession on the way in. Here comes Battelle for Minnetonka. Battelle puts on the brakes and letting her team get set up here.
You know, we were looking at the stats and all that, and then the top 3 for Minnetonka, Gallagher, Bedell, and Cole have been the big scorers, but it's been spread out a little bit more tonight for the Skippers. A few other people have had an opportunity to score.
Cole chased to the outside as the double comes. Minnetonka is using some time and Wayzata electing to get a little more aggressive. Now Hamburg falls as she tried to split between defenders there, and then we got the ball chopped down by Minnetonka. It'll be Wayzata possession. B1 racing upfield here for the Trojans. Took a little shot there. Keeps on moving.
Boy, Skipper shut down that middle quick, don't they? They got a 3-4 stack in there that they just do not let you get in the middle. Oh, Lewis made a nice play there. Did you see that? They were looking to put it off to the wing on the left side, and Lewis, as soon as it moved, she went right out there and blocked that pass off. Wouldn't let it get in there.
Woodsy trying to get a screen. Now drops it off to Logan. Very close in, and Lewis able to make a save. And then gets a nice clear ahead as well to Battelle. Battelle will shoot that one herself, and she scores. And Minnetonka now up 10-6. Battelle getting her second in a row. Boy, and it all started with the big save at the other end, and then Battelle just working her way upfield and finishes.
Yeah, got a high-low shot going low, and Ronning just didn't have a chance on that one. That's the other thing, too, as I was talking about the Skippers, the velocity of their shots. I mean, they've obviously been working. They bring the ball. They really do. Yeah, I mean, you got to be impressed with Ronning making those saves, but and I don't want to say this badly, but for girls lacrosse, it's nice to see these ladies getting loose up and really flinging that ball at the goal.
Yeah, and you know, when you're starting out, obviously you're practicing passing and ball control and everything, but ultimately too, being able to really shoot the ball is a key skill to have too.
I got a kick out of it when I was coaching boys and girls. The boys were kind of, you know, laughing at the girls dropping the ball all the time, and they didn't understand that the girls' stick is way different. There's not a lot of volume in there compared to the boys' stick, so I made the boys play with the girls' stick. And it changed real quick. The boys could not control the ball, couldn't catch it, couldn't carry it.
Swanson, a nice move there to get some free space. And then flicking it across, but really to an open area. But nice hustle to get in there as Lauren Youngquist, number 17, in there for Tonka, fresh off the bench, and plenty of energy there to go get that one. They have really won the races. I mean, overall, as we said, team speed clearly in Minnetonka's favor.
You know, they maintained the pace, too, throughout this game. I mean, there is not a lot of substitutes on that bench there, Jay, and they, you know, the players to keep playing at this pace for this long time, they're in pretty good shape.
Gallagly chased back out here, now looking for cutters coming through. And now she will find some open space to the right side, trying to bounce one past, but didn't quite hit the net. It'll stay with Minnetonka, though, as we tick under 10 minutes to play here. Skippers leading it by 4. Battelle came alongside and thought about trying to tuck that one in, but then moves it back. Now spinning away and is knocked down. Halo violation there, as you see her eye protection knocked off her head right there, in fact. Actually, it was kind of more to the back of the head and then fell as she fell, but still call made, and Battelle from the free position here for Tonka. Trying to bounce that one, but didn't have her angle figured well and bounced it way over the net. Problem if you're Wayzata, though, this is still eating up time, even though they missed the net there. I mean, they're still keeping possession. And
yes, definitely. I mean, you know, and if Tonka's smart here, you know, don't push it now. Just kind of move it around, see what you get, see if you can create an opening.
Flipped out front and backhanded wide, though. Beautiful setup, but Battelle not able to finish it, and it'll be Wayzata. See this great pass and catch, but then she just couldn't get her wrist turned over quite enough to tuck that one away.
Not real comfortable on her left-hand side, and you could see she had an idea. I mean, if she practices more, it'll become more smooth for her.
Good nature up the field here for Wayzata, and
stepped out of
went
bounds.
out. Yeah, I think so. So the Skippers will get it right back. Gallagly races past the first wave of defenders and then tried to go Down low with it for Anna Hamburg, and it's out of play. It will be Wayzata's ball. That was a pass. Trojans need to get something going right now. They're not out of time yet, but they certainly are, just staring at a 4-goal deficit and 7.5 to go. They need to get something happening immediately. McDermott leaving it over to Haley Olson. Now you'd see Ashton, looking for some space, flips the pass off. Here's a shot and a goal. That's a Giorgio finishing that one off for Wayzata, and they get one that they really needed.
Nice play there, and then just timely, too. See the ball get laid off here, and she just didn't waste any time and beat Chloe Lewis on the left hand, or to her left on the right-hand side of the net. Nice low shot. As we were talking about earlier in the pregame and during the game too. I mean, the spread out of goals being scored by the Trojans. Like I said, 10 different players have scored goals, and Tonka can't say the same thing. And it's nice to be able to get goals from people you might not expect it. But again, we look at Tonka, and they're getting goals from people you wouldn't expect too. I mean, obviously Bedell and Gallagly are doing their jobs, but that was a big one for the Trojans.
10th of the year for Clea, and it's now a 10-7 game. And Minnetonka, though, ends up with it off the faceoff. Hoeg controlling.
Yeah, this is one of those times now. If you're Minnetonka, you just tell the kids, all right, just possess for a while, move it around. Ooh, forced one.
Battle for this ground ball here, and Laugen comes out of there with it.
There you go.
Hardigan working her way upfield for the Trojans. They're feeling a little bit of momentum after getting that last goal and then a stop. Pass, though, will get away, and it winds up with Lewis, so that was a missed opportunity for the Trojans. Lewis flinging it long right on target there to Gallagly, and here they come. Pass, though, getting away.
Boy, Gallagly doesn't miss, does she? My gosh, she picked that up on the run. Tonka gets the possession back again, but no, that's on the ground again.
Coco Crandall gonna try and use her goalie, but the pass got away, and it's gonna be picked up by Kaylee Crawford instead. Now Helling. Minnetonka definitely cognizant of trying to use time, but then they turn it over again. And here come the Trojans with good nature right up the middle. Look over to the right, Elise Johnson. That's a Giorgio leaving it now for Story. Boy, a goal here would be huge.
Okay.
Story flicking the pass back. It's behind its intended target. It'll stay with Wayzata here, but time becoming a factor as we tick down to about 4:20 to go. Laugen. And she took a little shove there.
Yep. Not a good angle on this free position. Yep.
And Lewis able to deny it. You're right, there's only really half the net to work with there, and Lewis smartly able to cut it off. And the Skippers again, nice job on the transition, although this pass then gets away from Helling, which he's able to get to it. Helling going to the front, fires and scores. I think Minnetonka, we've been talking about how they wanted to use some time, but I think they lost their aggressiveness a little bit in that time, figuring like, you know, yes, it'd be good to eat some time, but another goal certainly would be a good thing too. And Helling going right to the net and comes up high with that one.
Gosh, did a nice job. She saw the opening and, you know, take it if they give it to you, and allowed her to use her right hand and get in tight and, you know, make a nice shot.
So she started the scoring this evening and now gets what at this point is the last one, 11-7. Certainly may see some more scoring yet, but 4-goal margin again for Minnetonka as they try and put Wayzata away here down the stretch.
A little bit different than the 10-goal differential the last time out.
That's a Giorgio with it for the Trojans.
Yeah, the one thing I like too about the Trojans is their draws weren't really strong, but they really held their own against Minnetonka. I mean, it started out badly, but they've held their own here as the game went on and did a good job. That was a key win on a draw.
Kimball Yutzi with it here for the Trojans. Olsen looking for some space here.
She has trouble going to her left hand. She needs to start on the other side.
Lewis trying to intercept that one, didn't get it. Now has to hurry back in net as Good Nature. Floats the pass. It was not handled cleanly, and Lewis is going to get out and scoop that one.
See, that just points out a nice difference too. When Tonka passes the ball, they put some velocity on it so it gets to their player on their basket. Wayzata has a tendency just to kind of, you know, flop it in there without a lot of straight line forwardness, and that's where they're getting intercepted a lot.
Whistle goes against Minnetonka here, and Krista Crandall happy with the effort tonight, but right now looks like Wayzata, unless things change in a hurry here, gonna maybe lose this for the second time to their rival and her alma mater, actually, Minnetonka.
Well, they played a better game against them this time, if you can say that. I mean, I'm sure she wanted to beat them, and
that's a Giorgio turn back, and you don't want to rush things too much, but at the same time, they've got to be conscious that they need to put a few on the board in a hurry here. They kind of clear things out. Shot blocked. That's a Giorgio gets it back. Johnson turned away, and then they got a little too aggressive. It'll be Wayzata possession, but we are down close to a minute remaining here. They're down by 4. Story trying to drop it off for Good Nature, but they misfire and taken away by Gallagly, and that might have been the last hurrah there for Wayzata, as Gallagly turning it upfield, still has a lot of energy. She's played a strong match tonight. And Wisely just slams on the brakes here and let Wayzata chase a little bit here as the Skippers try and nail down the win and improve to 4-4 on the season.
nice win by the Skippers. They get to take on Blake in their next game at Blake. That'll be a challenge for him. Blake is, again, one of the standard powerhouses in the state here, and Tonka did not make a weak schedule at all, Jay.
And the time will run out, so the Skippers secure the win here. We were tied 5-5 at halftime, but they outscore the Trojans 6-2 in the second half, despite a great effort by that young lady that we just saw there, the goalkeeper for the Trojans, Caroline Ronning. She had a very nice performance here tonight, but it is Minnetonka getting the victory and the season sweep over the Trojans here. We hope you've enjoyed this one, and be sure to watch for the boys game as well on CCX Sports between Minnetonka and Wayzata. Here's your final: Minnetonka 11, Wayzata 7. That'll do it for this one tonight here from Wayzata High School on CCX Sports.